Please take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Swetha,
Yes, sir.
as women collector, how will you improve the lot of women in your district?
Sir, as a woman collector, I'll persuade the women about the opportunities in employment, and I'll say about the benefits of employment, because if the women will employ, the next generation also will came to know about this, and the next generation also will empower. I'll say about the benefits of employment, and even I'll say about the schemes, what are benefit for the women. Like that, I'll try to persuade the women to get into employment in my district.
What is the first capital of Andhra Rashtra?
Sir, the first capital of Andhra Rashtra was Kurnool, sir. Later, it was in 1956 after State Reorganization Act. Then it was changed to Hyderabad.
Do you know which country is known as the world capital of poverty?
Sir, I don't know particularly, sir, but I'm still guessing. I think the Central Africa and African countries are more in plight conditions recording poverty. So I'm thinking the Central Africa and Somalia, that areas are in poverty.
No, since last year India became the world capital of poverty. Since last 6 months or so, it has been there in the newspapers. But previously it was Nigeria, as you said. But now it is India, yes. So with that, India is also fast growing economy, you must have heard about it.
Yes.
So how do you negotiate between the two? From extreme poverty to fastest economy. So how do you balance that?
Yes, sir. As you said, India is a fast-growing country in the world, and but the poverty is also high in India. Even the multidimensional poverty index is saying that India still more than 27% of the people are multidimensionally poor. So India should balance both the social conditions and economic conditions in order to achieve good place in Human Development Index, because development doesn't mean only growing economically, it includes all aspects, so it should balance both the social and economical conditions.
Socio-economic conditions.
Yes.
Very good. So what do you mean by health
Sir,
according to WHO? How does World Health Organization define health?
I'm not aware about that, sir. But health means being capable of physically strong and doing any activities with the strong without any mental. Health doesn't only include about physical, sir. It also includes mental aspects. But I'm not aware about WHO definitions.
Plus social well-being also.
Now you belong to a place called Kurnool district.
Yes.
How far is it from your village?
Sir, it is 72 kilometers away.
How much?
72 kilometers away from
Achha.
the place.
Now, well, you know, there was reorganization of states.
Yes.
Andhra was the state which was formed with Telangana also. Earlier, they were a combined state, Andhra and Telangana.
Yes.
Which was the first capital of Andhra Pradesh?
Sir, as I said, the first capital of Andhra Pradesh was Hyderabad, sir, according to State Reorganization Act 1956. But the first capital of Andhra state was Kurnool, sir.
No, I couldn't get you when the reorganization took place. Which was the place selected for the capital of Andhra Pradesh? Andhra Pradesh.
After the reorganization, the first capital was Hyderabad.
It was Kurnool. Am I right, sir?
On the last
Kurnool was the first place. You should take pride that you belong to that place.
Yes.
In fact, Andhra Pradesh, should have formed their state capital as Kurnool only. So, now you have been a student of mathematics.
Yes, sir.
You know what is pi?
Yes, sir.
What is the value?
22/7.
22/7.
3.5.
And there is a day celebrated all over the world called Pi Day. So what was that day?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of it.
Just now you said the value is how much? 22/7. And in the case of decimal, what were you saying? 3 point?
1.14, sir.
So 3rd February is celebrated all over the world as Pi Day.
March 14. Einstein's birthday.
Yeah.
Hawking's death day. Stephen Hawking's death day and Albert Einstein's birthday.
Now what all they teach you in public administration about governance?
About governance, sir.
Public administration means governance.
Yes.
So what all they teach you?
Sir, in public administration, there were theories about the governance. For example, when we see about the Weberian bureaucracy, it says about the governance. It is very important for bureaucrats, sir, because they'll say about the duty ethics. What is important for an administrator in respect whether his duty is more important or his values are more important. It says about the what the administrator should have in order to perform his duties. So,
Will it help you as a collector? What have you learned in public administration?
yes, sir.
So do you recommend that public administration must be taught to every student who is appearing for civil services?
Sir, and to certain extent I will say, sir, because not only public administration, even other subject like governance and all other subjects will also say to civil servants to how to perform their duties. So who are interested in public administration, they can take that subject, sir.
What else? What other subjects?
What are
Apart from public administration,
yes.
a collector has got many duties, multiple duties. He should know something about agriculture,
Yes.
something about human
About the
resource,
quality.
something about even mining, everything he should know, law and order. So what other subject you feel that apart from public administration they should learn?
Sir, I think ethics is very important for administrator in order to perform his duties. Sir, apart from public administration, I think the second most important subject was ethics.
What about geography?
Yes, sir. As you said, it is also very important because by knowing the geographical identification of that region only, can understand the problems associated about that region, and he will solve about the solutions regarding that. So it is also very important, as you said.
Now you tell me that as a district collector, when you are posted there are disputes between the two families about the land. So how you are going to resolve it?
So, as a district collector, first of all, I'll identify the root cause for that, sir, and I'll check the land documents, and according to the acts like land acquisition acts or land alienation acts, I'll come to know about whose property does it belongs to, and I'll try to negotiate the two people instead of conflicting between them. If it belongs to both of them, I'll try to negotiate them, and I'll try to give them the equal land.
Good. Thank you.
Swetha, you belong to Emiganur.
Yes, sir.
So what is Emiganur famous for?
Sir, Emignur is famous for, it is a place of, it is very near to the religious pilgrimage site, sir, Mantralayam.
Okay.
Even Tungabhadra river will flow across that, and the place with, and Emignur is a mandal, sir, it is very developed areas.
Okay. So why do you want to join civil services? Is there any specific reason?
Sir, from childhood, I am more inclined towards service motto, sir. As I mentioned, even I am a member of NGO, I'm more inclined to the service. If I am in civil services, it will help me more because it will bring close to the people in order to do something. And even the civil services has a lot of respect and dignity in the society, sir, for his good actions. So I prefer, that's why I prefer civil services.
Okay. Rayalaseema area is considered to be very backward.
Yes, sir.
So do you also consider it as backward region?
No, sir. Due to some problems, it became a backward district, but backward place. But Rayalaseema is not a backward because from history, because Rayalaseema has, even Anantapur have great foreign direct investment, Kia Motors, and even Rayalaseema consists of great religious pilgrimage site, Tirupati. It is one of the world's highest tourist pilgrimage site, and even it has more pilgrimage sites like Yaganti, Mantrayalam, and even the trade and transportation in Kannur is high, sir. Even it is generating nearly 53% of employment. So, but the problem was due to irrigation projects. Rayalaseema is facing a water crisis problem, sir. Before, even during British India, even the Britishers, Mackenzie recommended that this place may face some water crisis in future. He recommended that even Krishna and Penneru irrigation project should be constructed there, but it doesn't went. So if that problems will solve, it became a developed.
Right, there any irrigation projects are there which are on the way?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware about that. But
Okay.
Krishna Dam is, and Nagarjuna Sagar Dam is there.
Okay. Suppose you are the district collector of a district. You are supposed to award a contract to somebody. There are many bidders for that one. So one of the bidders is your relative. So he is requesting you to award that contract to him. And at the same time, there is a politician who is after you to award that contract to one of his close associates. So what do you do in that situation?
Sir, it will creating ethical dilemma for me, sir, because it is also leading to conflict of interest because there is political pressure from the higher authority in order to convince my decision, and on the another side there is relative who is close to me, means it affects my emotions. So in order to do that, I'll use my emotional intelligence. I'll choose the correct path, means I'll choose the person who is better in both, the person who has talent in order to do that particular.
No, there are other people also, not only these two.
Yes.
There are many bidders,
Yes.
more than two.
If the two persons are not eligible for that, or any other builders are also is more capable than two persons, I'll choose that path, sir, because but the conflict of interest and emotional intelligence will also affect me because I'll try to persuade both of them, sir. I'll try to explain about the project and what the effects if the project is not completed successfully, what are the effects we will going to face. Then I think they also come to understand because they also know what the effects they'll coming to face if the project is not successful. Then I think they'll convince it.
No, the politician, he will not leave you. He is putting a lot of pressure on you. So you have to face that pressure. The other hand, if you don't allot it to your relative, there will be some kind of criticism from your family circles also.
Yes, sir.
So how do you cope up with that kind of situation?
Sir, even though that situations arises me, but I should take the righteous action, sir, because even the righteous actions will give self-satisfaction to me, because if I choose the wrong path, even though my family will not criticize me, but my inner consciousness will criticize me. So I'll not give to politician side and to my relative side, sir. I'll take righteous action.
Okay, good. So what are the industries which are set up in the district, Kurnool district. Economically, how do you see Kurnool as a place?
Yes, sir. There were economic opportunities in Kurnool in all the three sectors, sir. Number one,
Which sector?
in all the three sectors.
Okay.
Number one, agriculture, sir. Even now, Kurnool is going for horticulture crops, and even Kurnool have black soil, much abundant of black soil, sir. So it is suitable for cotton cultivation. So, and number two, industries, sir. Industries, Kurnool was have good. Kurnool endowed with good minerals, sir. For example, iron, silica, and huge limestone availability, sir. So mineral-based industries can be set up in Kurnool and cotton industries. And number three, service sector, sir. Land and transportation sector is contributing 53% employment in Kurnool, sir. And the tourism, as I said, that Konda Reddy Bridge, which was built by ancient ruler Achyutraya, and Yaganti, which was ancient form of paintings and sculptures which date back to 35,000 to 40,000 years, and many Balan caves which are earlier forms of caves where Buddhist and Jain monks have resided. So these are serves as a, and Mantralayam, which was a great religious pilgrimage centers. Even more Karnataka people will used to visit there, sir. So these are also helpful in service sector. Also, there is a great contribution to the economy in Kurnool.
Are there any scientific organizations which are set up in your district?
Sir, up to my knowledge, I didn't know about that, sir. I have not heard about the scientific.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Good.
Thank you.